spoon you ain't know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat Kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, when you batileo. Spoon TV. Spoon. Yes, when you batileo. Spoon. Beseku. Spoon TV. Spoon. Ba. Spoon. Skibidi dabado.
Yes, a special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Moravia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you ain't know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat Kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, when you batileo. Ba-da-ba-de-ba. Skiddy-biddy-bee-da-ba-do.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepan, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba-da-ba-de-ba-de-ba.
Spoon.
Skiddy-biddy-bee-da-ba-do.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Kua. Bese kua, kudileo. Kua, kudileo.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion.
want to know what is happening.
Okay, indeed, you want to get the news update. You want to know what's happening in the country. Tune to Spoon. Of course, this is where you get um, authentic information about the happenings in the country. I'd like to say welcome again to another edition of the program, the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. We are here again, live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We are live on Fabric 101.1 FM. We are live on Super 95.5 FM and other frequencies across the country. Thanks for joining us tonight. We encourage you to share the program as you come on. So we have a great discussion here tonight. So welcome to the show. This is where we talk about the trending national issues, but we've decided to spice it up. We decided to add some flavor to it. So we now have the we now have a segment of the program where we talk about other issues. Other issues. We dive into other areas. We started off the series on mental health and providing some pieces of information. This series is intended to take us up to the end of the week, and thereafter we'll be moving on to another area that we will be throwing some light. And so, as part of this, we want all of you to form part of the discussion. Last evening, we had the panelists here. They were more like introducing the whole topic of mental health, talking about it from a broader perspective. But today we're gonna be moving to the next level, or taking the discussion to another level, and that is to have us talk about the types of mental health. On the flip side, we're going to come back to talk about some of the training issues that's going to take us home on the discussion here tonight. So, again, I want to say thanks for joining us. Welcome. We encourage you to share the program as you come on, so we have a fascinating conversation here tonight. With no time to waste, I'd like to now go across to bring in our team. Maggie is going to be joining us. Our co-moderator Moba Zoka is going to be coming in as well, and we have Cindy is already here in the background, and Miss Cora is going to be coming in, and a lot of other folks are going to be joining us here shortly as we take you through uh, another edition of the Late Night Show. So let me just go across that and bring in Cindy. Cindy, let me say welcome to the show. It's good to have you tonight.
Nelson, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here again. We've committed ourselves to this, to making sure that we come up here um, to have the show, to inform and provide pieces of education to our Liberian people on different issues. And so it's a good thing that we are here tonight, and I'm glad that we can start the show again, and with the rest of the guys getting ready to join us. So how are you?
I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm doing good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a long day, a long week. The week is almost over with, but I'm good.
Yeah. So it's Thursday at my end now. Well, what time is it at your end?
It's still on Wednesday,
Oh, you stay in
8:34
Wednesday.
p.m. Yeah, we're still Wednesday on that.
Okay.
I
Well, it's
am what? I
mhm.
am 7 hours behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 hours.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
7 hours behind.
So
Yeah.
they bring everything. They
Uh,
bring in like bro.
enjoy enjoy Thursday.
Yeah. So we're gonna move into the show. The rest of the guys are coming on. They are they are putting themselves together to come in. We already have a series we're running. We will take the first segment as planned, as discussed with our audience, to always talk about this issue that has to do with mental health and all of that. And it was a good discussion last evening, introducing the whole idea of mental health to our people, letting them know what constitutes mental health, what should come to their minds when they hear of mental health, and all of that. So it's good to be here again tonight, and we're going to be taking the conversation to another level. But I want us to start up by you telling us what's on your mind, Cindy, just before moving into our actual show for tonight.
Well, Nelson, thank you. Uh, as I go into what on my mind, let me recognize, since we have just a couple folks that I'm seeing in the comment section for now,
Yeah,
recognize Daniel A. Pogba. I believe that's the name. Daniel A. Pogba is in the comment section. Augustine Zulu and Mr. Alexander Pope. Mr. Alexander Pope, like I told you, I think it was yesterday,
yeah,
was at the Liberia Dujard Association School, the school that I attended. So, Mr. Pope, it's good to see you in the comment section again. Rebecca Andrews is in the comment section, and we have Kristen Moba there, and Babu Gordon is in the comment section. So you guys are welcome, and thank you for watching. Please share the show, as Nelson will want you to.
yeah, yeah.
Nelson, yesterday we started off on the mental health topic. Great discussion. We have gotten a lot of feedback, and that's what we're going to continue tonight. But besides that, Liberia, as always, is on my mind. One of the heated discussion in the country right now has to do with the elections of the House leadership, including the Speaker of the House of Representatives, which is a
Mhm.
very key position in our country. I'm listening to folks calling on the Spoon Talk today, and it seems like most folks are leaning towards uh, Representative Kuhn. Look, I am still looking at all of the names that are coming out, but it seems right now that this debate of who's going to be the next Speaker of the House is between Representative Kuhn and Representative Funati Kofa. I know
Mhm.
the name of Musa Hassan Beret is in there, and Tomo Farah is also in there. What I would just continue to urge our lawmakers, especially those that are just elected, to not be moved by greed or be persuaded by any financial incentive, but think about Liberia. The post of speaker is the third in command in the nation, one that is very important. We want dignity to come back to the house and dignity to come to Liberia. So I'm not choosing any side here,
Mhm.
and don't attempt to ask me who I'm supporting.
No, no, that's coming up in our next talking point after the mental health discussion.
Okay,
Maybe,
so
maybe you will be asked. Maybe you will be asked. Who
yeah,
knows?
maybe at that time I'll be asked. But
Maybe you will
yeah.
be asked. Yeah, but go ahead.
And then quickly on the issue of what's happening in Zredru, there seems to be a little bit of calm in Zredru. We
Hmm.
briefly talked about what happened yesterday. The passing of Honorable Era Madison Guell has led to some chaos in the county there, and but today we have seen some peace, some calm in the county, so that's good news. Hopefully, that is we continue the peace and continue mourning the late representative. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a whole lot, Cindy. And I think you're right when it comes to these violence situations, these kinds of activities. It's just important that we do our best to kick against it because um it becomes a building block to instability. It becomes a building block to instability. Most times, when we overlook uh, those incidents of violence, the perpetrators see that as a means of, instilling fears into our people. The first one is done. If absolutely no deterrence is set, nothing is done, maybe everyone just embrace it. The next thing that happens is that the next group will decide to do something similar. Before you know it, the other group wants to retaliate, and then something else is happening in another part of the country, and then they think of what happened in the other part of the country when nothing was done. Then they decide to do same because they know that obviously no action will be taken, no one will be brought to book, and all of that. And gradually it takes our country back. It becomes a recipe for chaos, something which um is a path that we are trying to drive away from now. And so I think it's just important that um even the authorities, and Cindy, I tell you this, even now we agree that crime is being restored gradually, but it's important that the authorities will take the kind of actions that will have to be taken now. Those who set those places ablaze, investigations should be conducted, and let the perpetrators be brought to book. That's the way we can build the kind of Liberia that we all dream of. We all come up here to talk about every single day. That's the way
Certainly.
to go.
No, I agree with you. I think those involved, uh, if not all, I mean, some of them that are seen on camera should be brought to justice. I mean, burning
Mm,
somebody home. I know Zoe Manuel Pennon would not let this go. I mean, his
mhm.
beautiful house was, one of his houses was burned and one was destroyed, with stones and all that. So I'm sure they will go after it. But the fact that the city is a little calm today. I'm excited to share that with you, and hopefully that calmness will maintain in the county and all over Liberia. But I agree with you. No one should cut chaos and go free anymore. You know,
Yeah, certainly,
yeah.
certainly. So we're gonna move straight into our discussion today while we await the others to join us. Miss Cora will be coming in. Maggie, I see Maggie is in the background, but her webcam is off for now, and all of that. So yesterday we started off the conversation with this whole discussion on mental health. We thought it necessary to get our folks coming on to talk about this issue because um like all the countries across the world, Liberia is one of those places that needs some serious education. We need to spark some discussions around this issue about mental health, and ensure that our people have the pieces of information that will sort of guide them, help them detect issues of mental health, equip them with the necessary tool to some extent to be able to deal with this issue whenever they come across it. And so it's important that we have you on here tonight. And Miss Kura has joined us in the background. Let me bring Miss Kura on. Thanks for joining us. It's good to have you on. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a good thing for us to have this conversation. So today basically we thought to look at the types of mental illness. Um and then maybe we could take like maybe two to go into in depth, but let's look at the types of mental illness for tonight for the sake of our listeners, our viewers. And so we would like to start with you, Cindy. Having introduced this thing to our Liberian people last evening, we have a very good conversation, fruitful discussion last night. People, look, the feedbacks today following the show last night was just great. A lot of people, I didn't know that so many people were interested in this mental health, discussion, and you will be shocked to know that a lot of people followed the show even after. And the thing about this show is that after the program, When we think we're off, we go off, we call the show off, we go, maybe we're sleeping. Like the time some people just going to go watch the show. And interestingly, some of them will call the number, hey, I want to make this point. And sometimes you're trying to make them know the show is not live. They would, I want to make this point. So what Cindy is saying or what Miss Cora is saying, and blah, blah, blah. When they finish talking, I say, oh, sorry, sir, the show is not live. I say, oh, man, I missed the show. When does the show come on? So that's the beauty of the show. And so I want us to kickstart the conversation with the types of mental health. Let me bring Mikey on. I see Mikey is ready now to come on tonight. Mikey, thanks for joining us. Okay.
Everyone.
Hi.
Greetings, Maggie.
Okay. So Cindy, I want you to take us through. Then Miss Cora will come in, and then the rest of the team members will be able to come in. Basically, on the types of mental illnesses.
Well, Nelson, thank you again for having us. And yes, I'm glad that we are discussing health. I said that last night that Liberia, black as a whole, and I'm not trying to be any, local color here, but we don't focus on our health. We wait until it's too late. So it's important that we come here and talk about certain health conditions that are very, very sensitive. And this is a very sensitive topic. And we are encouraging folks to also join us. Similarly to what you share, I have received a lot of direct feedback based on last night's discussion. And I want to just thank everyone that followed the show and that have desire to know more about what we are discussing. By no means we know everything about mental health. Mental health is a very complex topic, right? But we are sharing with you what we know, and hopefully you can also join us to share what you know. So when it comes to the type of mental illnesses, and now we are focusing on the illness, right? Not just the mental health, but we are focusing on the illness. There are several types of mental illnesses. And one thing we should establish that each has its own set of symptoms and their own challenges. So they are not unique, to one another. They are individually unique, right? And an individual could have multiple type of mental illnesses. Okay, some of the most common categories grouping will include a mood disorder, right? Mood disorder will be like depression, bipolar disorder. Those affect your mood, right? How and I'm going to come into the detail of that, right?
Okay.
And we have anxiety disorder, we have eating disorder.
Eating disorder? You mean
Yeah,
as in eating?
eating disorder. Eating disorder, I'm telling
So
you.
that can also be a form of mental illness.
It can be a form of mental illness,
Okay.
right? Panic. I mean, anxiety, panic, they are all part of the same group. Yeah, eating disorder, you can group that into psychotic behavior or disorder.
I want to inject something before Sandy continue.
Go ahead.
Yes. What I would like to inject is that I would like us to define what mental illness is. And I would like people out there that listening to my brother myself, like he clearly stated that we ourselves we are learning mental illnesses, mental condition, we are learning. So we will ask you guys. So sometimes you see we help each other on the panel. It doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect each other. So what I want to do is that mental illness is defined as the changes that occur to an individual's behavior. Example like emotional behavior that respond the way they are thinking that lead to distress or problems, the way they are going to function in society, and the way they behave in family, the way things are. And these are changes that occur it cause illnesses in the person mental state. So like what my brother bringing up is that we really want you to know that when you hear the word mental illnesses, you should know that it is the kind of behavior, the changes you don't expect it to come, the things that will occur to you that will cause illnesses mentally. So those are changes my brother and my colleague Sunny is about to discuss to you. So, we will take time with Nibet one by one, and then we'll go into two. Then we describe it, we discuss it. So that
Okay.
what I just want to inject, that people know that. Then maybe we can tell them if you get pen and paper, we want you to to pick and let's I mean to write down the different mental diseases. Then my brother will elaborate. So let me just
Okay.
name it one by one. Then he will take two out of those.
Yeah.
Then there's something. What you think, Sandy?
Yeah. So
How you
so
look at it?
yeah, so we're gonna come to you. I wanted I
Okay.
want to have Sandy to lend his thought on because he was in flight.
Okay.
We'll certainly come to you and then move on to Maggie and all of that. But it's important to have Sandy lend his thoughts on that particular aspect because I
Okay.
think he was in flight. Yeah.
Okay, brother. Okay.
Well, no, thank you, Ms. Cora. And I think we are on path, right?
Okay.
Yesterday, we did define mental illness, but it's important again to go over that. So I appreciate the fact that you can do that so that our people can be informed. So thank you for doing that. Look, Nelson, like I was saying, right, there are mental illnesses is a complex field. So there are several different types.
Mhm.
Let's focus on some of the major or at least most common ones that we could point to when it comes to Liberia, right? Those are very easy to see. You
Yeah.
see them daily in people, but we ignore those things, or at least we don't even recognize them as mental illness, right? Or mental illnesses. So let's focus some of those things. Depression, that's one of them. You
Okay.
know what depression is, Nelson. Let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about it. You know what depression is. You know what it means to be depressed, right?
Hmm.
So depression is a mental health disorder, okay? That is characterized basically by some persistent feelings of sadness. You just see the individual, they are sad, they are hopeless, okay? And you find them usually they lack interest or pleasure in doing any activities, right? They
Mhm.
just isolated, they don't want to be bothered. What that does, it affects a person's life, including their thought process, their emotion, their physical well-being. So you see, one thing, depression alone affecting many areas of our individual life. How the person is thinking, how the person is outing, how they are responding. So you find them usually they're isolated. Why is
So they
depression?
just stay away from other people,
They
don't
have
want to
no
be bothered.
they don't want to be bothered. They don't have no desire to do anything. They are completely depressed. Let us also let's take depression a little further, right? The
Mhm.
depression, when we often think about depression, we think about, oh, that person. You know how we ignore depression, Nelson? And
Hmm.
it's an important thing to talk about, right? Oh, that person is depressed because they don't have this, they maybe they lost their job, they're going through marital issue, they're going through, other issues, right? So they are depressed. And quote unquote, we tend to ignore it. They will be fine, they will be okay. But depression is not only affected by just social events or social outbreaks, right? Depression can be triggered by a combination of genetic, biological, or your environment. So it could be part of a genetic problem. It could be a biological problem, right? Or the common one we see is the environmental issue. What happened to the person based on the environment they live in?
Okay. So, mhm.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. So yes. So we want to zero in on the types. Then we'll come to take that too, and then we can go into a little bit of details on that. Yeah. So you spoke of depression, and then yeah, you want to zero in, so we have Miss Cora come in, and then we can go to Maggie.
Oh, you want me to
No,
let's
no,
discuss
you are
depression or
muted.
please?
You are muted. Cindy, you are muted. I don't
Okay,
know why I'm not
you can
hearing
hear
you.
me now.
Yeah, great, great. I'm hearing you.
So I listed quite a few. I listed
Yeah.
depression, bipolar, anxiety. I listed, psychotic disorder. I
Mhm.
want to focus tonight on these two, depression and bipolar. And then we can move into things like autism, and we can get deeper into it. But I really want to focus on depression and bipolar, and there's a very good reason for that as it relates to Liberia.
Okay.
But let,
Okay.
let, let Maggie come in, and then we'll
No,
continue on the detail. Oh,
Okay. So let's take Miss Cora, then
Miss
we'll
Paul.
bring in
okay.
Maggie. Yeah.
So,
Yes,
oh,
yeah, Cindy, thank you. But
one
my
second,
steps,
listen to Miss
I don't.
Girl. 1 second. But I told you we are going to list, give the people the different types of mental disorder. I
Yeah,
know
and
Cindy
that's
listed
then
some.
that's what we're doing, and that's what we're doing. Right after Miss Cora will be coming to you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I will hold on to the tabs yet, and I will come like the teacher. I will say after we have defined mental illness, I want to discuss to the people to know
Mhm.
what causes mental illness. You know,
Yeah, we're gonna come to the causes, but I want
yeah,
us to zero in
yeah,
on the
yeah,
type
yeah.
and all of them.
It will be the type. It includes that. Yeah. I just going my steps. I'm not going to discuss the whole thing.
Hmm.
Nelson. I want the people out there to know that mental illnesses or illness, it's not, but it's not specific. It's not for a particular person. It's a disease that can be inherited also. It can be inherited. Mental illnesses can usually attribute to multiple factors, including our chemistry, our development, our experience or experiences, like some who are coming to come out to say the environment. These are causes that lead to it. And I want my people to know that for genetic, the mental illness trends to run in families. It's trying to run in families. Some family, they can have crazy people in their family. No, I will not use that word. They can have mentally ill people in their family. It runs in the family. And in that also can the depression can also come up. So I would like another thing is a physical environment. My brother also spoke of social environment. These are causes, that can lead to mental illnesses. So let me just name the list a few, then maybe my sister can come in. The first thing, I also want to take pen and paper. Anxiety. Cindy spoke on it. We will go into depth. Maybe we'll choose one of it. Cindy spoke on it. Number one, anxiety. Number two, Cindy also spoke on it, which is the eating
Eating
disorder.
disorder. Yeah.
Cindy spoke on that. Another thing Cindy listed, I want our people to know, slowly to listen to us, is the mood disorders. Mood is MOOD. That mood disorder. Cindy also named that. So I've gone through it already. We also want you to know that they get personality disorder. Personality disorder. Then we have the trauma or the traumatic condition or disorder that has to do with stress. Then we got to the psychiatric disorder. Out of these things, they also told you they got babies after it. So having listed this disorder, we will
Mm.
choose among these disorders. Among
Yeah.
us here now, we say, okay, let us discuss other a disorder. Each disorder, it has anxiety. Each
Okay.
disorder do have other things. So that's why I want to say at least we listed it. For us now, we choose and say, okay, let's discuss these two to help our people understand. So like when
Thank you.
you're talking, we'll take one
Is
and two
Maggie still with us?
and let you
Maggie, are you
go.
here? Okay. Maggie?
So I would like to suggest
Yeah,
if at
sorry.
least in the
I'm
future we discuss like the
forgetting.
anxiety disorders, Then we look at it, then we take all the little babies behind it. If the missing is approval, then we take that, then we discuss anxiety to be one of this disorders that can bring forth a lot of
Yeah,
activities, a lot of
we are
things.
about we're about to get at that point
Okay,
because we have our next talking point as well. We
okay,
just want
thank
to
you.
zero in on this very quick.
Okay.
Um, Maggie, you want to make an input or respect to the types of mental illnesses and stuff like that? You have a contribution to make to that point just before uh moving on to um the two specific ones that will be highlighted today.
Yes, of course. Yes. Cindy and Miss Cora have said list some of them, and they talk about the eating. They talk about paranoia. They talk. They didn't mention anorexia. That's another mental disorder. Schizophrenia is another mental disorder. We're gonna go in depth. I mean, and tell you about the different the signs and the symptoms and how it can be treated. We not, I'm not a medical a doctor, but we do work with patients that come in, and they also come in the office. So I will be able to go in detail on the nursing side of it. And they didn't mention about exceptional compulsive disorder, what we call OCD. Um, then we talk about they didn't mention paranoia. I think so. Claustrophobia too is another.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you have kids, it's another form of mental disorder. We mentioned anxiety, depression, mood swing, development delays. They are another form of mental
Okay.
disorder. So we can start to move from there.
Okay. Thank you, Maggie. Let me say welcome, Shirley. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Now I'd like us to move straight into the discussion now. Uh, we could talk about anxiety and uh, there's this what was the next one?
Bipolar.
Bipolar, depression.
Okay. So
But there,
now
there are a
the
few
most
more I like him too. So
okay.
are we
You want to
need
add on to
The
that?
behaviors a
are we
lot.
adding those few that are liking? Because I
Mhm.
mean there are a few more, but
Yeah. Okay, but then you can come in with that before we do the transition.
I mean I think the BKS want to especially that our people that are facing in Liberia will be substance use disorder. Um and social anxiety disorder, that's one of them. Also generalized anxiety disorder could be one as well. I mean, like I think most of them said that, but it is mental health is like really broad. It's so many things that can be covered within it. I personally think that it's covered everyday life. It can affect your job, it can affect your personal life, your family life, your education. So it just go into so many things, especially like if you um trying to diagnose the individual, you have to look at everything that has to do with their everyday life in order
Okay.
to know if all those things are affecting their mental health.
Okay. So I want us to start up with this whole thing about anxiety and which a lot of you already threw a little bit of light on. It was captured when you went on to outline the types of mental illnesses and all of that. In the simplest term, what is anxiety and what are some of those things that will cause that? Maybe we can start with Cindy.
So Nelson, anxiety in the simplest term is really is a normal adaptive response to stress and some perceived threat.
Okay.
Okay, it's how an individual respond to stress and how they respond or perceive some threats. Okay, when it becomes excessive, however, and persistent, it can disrupt your daily life. So a person, you find them often just feel somehow unrelaxed.
Mhm.
They feel threatened. They feel that some situation could directly destroy or impact their life, right?
Okay.
They are often stressed, right? A person could, maybe it's often based on experiences, okay? Um, it have a different range of condition. That I
Okay.
think Shelley mentioned generalized anxiety disorder. Okay, but mostly what you see in a person that is experiencing anxiety are they usually panic, right?
Okay.
I couldn't
They're
come up with
usually
that.
panicking and stuff like that.
Panicking, yeah, panicking.
Okay.
Yeah, you find them often panicking. They are always worried. They anticipate threats to their life. Okay,
Okay.
again, like I said, very common in people that have had some level of experience or events that have had some direct impact on their life. Okay,
Mm.
um, restlessness. An individual feel very restless. They
20
always
seconds.
worry. Okay, that person is always worrying. You know, you find people situation they find themselves in situation that they are always worrying about certain things. You could be worrying about putting food on the table, for instance, a very common example. You could be worried about, your kids, and we could go bigger. We could go bigger. There are a lot of things you could be worried about. Then your
No.
mind is restless. Okay. Uh, you find once you start to have those panic attacks, your muscles you start to experience muscle tension. You find individual often tired, fatigue. One common anxiety issues that is found in individual is difficulty concentrating. When
Okay.
you start to worry, you start to have, less restless moons. Start to find them having difficulty concentrating. So,
Okay.
in nutshell, anxiety really speaks to panicking, uh, worrying about life events that affect your daily activities or your daily life.
Okay. Miss Cora, you want to come
Yeah,
in?
yeah, just to add up, when we speak of anxiety, we are talking about, anxiety categorize the feelings. Sometimes in our Liberian things, hey, my heart beating too fast, oh, my heart beating fast. Sometimes somebody just pass by you just like we can say our common term, the person check. And then you, like you said, you just worry on your own explain condition. You don't know what worrying you. You
You're
don't
not
know.
feeling relaxed. You're not
You
at
don't feel,
ease.
yeah. You say, no, there's somebody gossiping about me, eh? You know, now in the labyrinth, what we can say, somebody gossiping about me. I even know what, yeah, look at my eyes, just, they asking like one of your eye was just like, that we say bapping. I know they're discussing me. And then another thing, the physical body sensation, sometimes you see your palm sweating. Your palm sweating. Oh, but what happening? I just feel like I sweating. My heart rate, palpitation. In that same thing, we call it palpitation. That's increase in the heart rate. What happening to you? You know, the whole thing of anxiety also it affects the whole general body. They get a type of anxiety which they call the generalized anxiety disorder. So we just try to bring it down to the Liberian setting. Sometimes you said, uh, you can sleep. You having something like you feel like You walk in, you say, ah, I feel like something rubbing on my face, like spatter, like they can say spatter. I feel like
Spider
spatter.
wipe.
Yeah. Or sometimes you see you having anxiety, you'll see that some part of your body, there's something like itching.
Hmm.
You cannot explain why your face itching. Then or your nose, especially the nose of the person, you see they'll be rubbing a
So
nose.
those are all signs.
Yeah,
These are signs of an
yeah,
anxiety as well. But
yeah. So,
what are some of the things that would usually cause that? Talking about
yeah,
this form of mental issue.
past experience, something happened in your life, a traumatic experience, something
Mhm.
happened that affects you. So each time you think on it triggers you, you know, something you experience, you see that occur. Sometimes the body mechanism, the genetic part of you, you don't know what happened in the system. Maybe it's not physical. It's not
Okay.
physical, but the body responds to the hormones that it produces. There are things the body produce abnormally. It affects your mental status. So
Okay.
there is no particular reason that you can link to and say this anxiety you feel is because of this, it's because of that. But there
Thank
are
you.
different reasons why people have anxiety disorder.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Miss Cora. Shirley, I see your hand up. Can we take Maggie and then we come to you?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I would just start from where Miss Cora stop. So when we talk about anxiety disorder, actually it's a group. It's not one disorder. It's a lot of disorder that
Hmm.
come together that the medical people call anxiety, or the generalized anxiety disorder. Then we talk
Okay.
about social phobia. Phobia is fear. The main thing about anxiety, sometimes it can be fear, and like when and past something that happened in the past. And we have some anxiety on our anxiety disorder that I mentioned first, called OCD, which means excessive compulsory disorder. Those are people you find when they're going through panic attack, they're restless. You see them doing one thing over and over, like uh, um cleaning. They will clean one spot over and over and over and over, because to them it's not okay, because they're panicking that something will happen. They will go outside, come back inside, and that same thing that they just did, they will come back and do that again. Then we talk about PTSD. We found PTSD, especially with our current setting in Liberia. We went through war. I bet almost, I mean, people that lived through from 1990 up to present, we go through that. And if it's not treated, it can lead to long-term illnesses.
Yeah, and that's the next question I was coming to, but I want us to move to Shirley. Then we're gonna come back to the long term impact of.
That is only on post-traumatic stress that I'm talking about. The
Okay.
Yeah, that why I related it to the war, and
Hmm.
especially what is happening right now in our country. What happened in Zwedru? It started from stuff that happened before, when a young man got lost. It did not fix, and the election came, and things started going. Almost everything started going wrong. And now the new thing that after the man died, things that happened, it came back. That's why you see people when they go on the war front, things that they see during the war, it come after them. Because when they sit down, they will just be sitting, and they will see like a bomb. That's it. They were
Hmm.
on the war front and a bomb. Same thing in Liberia. We went through war, and some of us, we are not killed from it. Actually, you need medication for you
Okay.
to have a long lasting. Let we say we're gonna get into it and make I don't know if Liberia, that's why we really need someone from Liberia to be on this talk show so we can ask them question. Maybe we can I don't know what they're doing over there in Liberia for patients that going through mental. It's a broad, it's a lot of things that go on. It's not
Thank
one
you.
thing.
Thank you, Maggie. Now let's move to you, Shirley. Let's hear your take on this whole anxiety thing, and then you can also, we can start with you on the long term effect of of it on individuals as well.
So Nelson, I don't want to repeat what everybody have already said. I think Mikey kind of covered some of my point, but I just want to give an example because she's talking about the war. And I mean, example, I have my great grandmother came here, and after passing through the war and everything, and I observed her trying to watch movie few times. And when you turn the TV on, and the people that are shooting, like she watching a war show, and people that are shooting, and they just like kind of like trickle something in her. And if they're having like July 4th, and they're having like the firecracker thing, and they have to do the firecracker, I will see Gigi trying to find cover. I mean, like seriously trying to find somewhere to hide. So, those are things that happened in the past, like Sis Cora said. So it affect, it brings back kind of like memory of, I experienced this before, and to just see it again, it just take you back. Like Mikey said, it take you back. So those that have been in the war, and if you're not healed from it, or people that have seen their loved one being killed in front of them, it just kind of like bring back memory, and if they are not healed from that trauma, it just causes that mental health to just be activated. And I know you asked that what caused it. There's so many things. It can be medical condition, it can be the environment that you grow up in, it can be past experiences. So like it depends on the individual. You can't just put one diagnose it to someone, even though they are experiencing the same thing, but it's different on how it's affecting them, or what that came from. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, with us that came from the war, honestly, with the whole firecracker thing, I don't know about all the people that are on here. It was just like, what is going on? Especially my first son, and just like, boo, 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 boo. Oh, I need to
Mhm.
find somewhere to hide. So then
Okay.
when my great grand came and I saw her doing that, I was like, wait a minute. Instead of me laughing at her, let me try to educate her on what is going on. And I think it is in our community.
Mhm.
With, you would think those of us that have been here for a long time supposed to know that mental health, yes, indeed, is something that every one of us struggle with. I mean, there is no one that can say they don't have some kind of mental health. We all do. We all need to take care of ourselves. Self-care is really important.
Hmm.
We go as people in America, we go 24/7 working and forget to take care of ourselves. They're also something that is affecting us mentally. So we all have some kind of mental health thing that we struggle with, and it's really important. Yes, we are talking to the people in Liberia. We need to also focus on the people that are here, because it's easy for us to come away. Oh, the person died because somebody in their village wished them. No, you are not taking care of yourself. If you are not taking care of yourself, you get stressed out. And when something little happens to you, it's kind of like can
Wow.
take you 2 feet or 6 feet on. So taking care of ourselves is really important.
Thank
And
you.
being aware of the things that go on around us as well also are important.
Okay, Sandy, let's make the final round, and then we move now to our training issues or political discussion. Now, Sandy, what's your take on this? You want to zero in on this talking point. Tomorrow we're gonna take another one that
Very
we can
good.
move away, but it's important that we stick to anxiety today because lots of very important information coming out as well. Cindy, is there any long-term effect of anxiety that you want to talk to us about? Tell the folks about. Are there long-term effects of anxiety?
Certainly, there are several long-term effects that we overlook.
Okay.
Before I get there quickly, let me get back to something very common in Liberia.
Mhm.
And all this thing, I want to bring it to Liberia, Nelson. In Liberia, sadly, very unfortunately, our children and our sisters, mothers, are often abused.
Mhm.
Okay? The children, our major means of disciplining the children is when we beat on them in Liberia. Am I lying here or is it common? It's common,
It's common.
No,
right?
that's true.
That's it. I talked
You know,
about that yesterday. That's true.
whip
Mhm.
the young boy. Come here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You start to find Gion boy now. Soon Papa coming home, Gion boy hiding. Gion boy cannot even be himself anymore.
And sometimes you think, yes, the discipline is taking
It's working. It's working.
it's working. Yeah, the
That boy
meskela
train
is pa.
now. He train now. But Gion boy is having a level of anxiety. Gion boy is
Mm.
afraid of you. Gion boy is threatened by you. When you are around, Gion boy can be himself. Same thing with our sisters, our mothers, the husbands. We the men, we are powerful. We are the head of the home. I'm the head of the home. She do small thing, you abusing her, you beating her. Your woman now, she can't even be herself. She disappeared from society. She can't even go out anymore. She's pretty much hating. That woman is experiencing mental illness. She's depressed. She's experiencing anxiety.
Hmm.
Those two things, if you can, the example I just shared with you, Nelson, that is prominent in the homes in Liberia. We are creating mental illnesses for our people. The country is already stressed, and we are adding to it. So, what are some of the long-term issues that come with anxiety disorder? Definitely affect your mental health. Your emotions, and also your physical well-being. Anxiety disorder. Okay, one of the common one is that you have impaired quality of life. Okay, it limits your ability to engage. Like I said, I give an example with the women, the children. It limits your ability to engage and enjoy life. You are panicking. You are afraid of certain things. You are afraid of certain people. You cannot enjoy life. It affects the overall quality of your life. Your physical health also become an issue, Nelson. Once you start to experience chronic anxiety, it contributes to a lot of physical health problems, heart disease, cardiovascular disease. Remember now, this person is panicking. Their heart is not beating normal, right? A lot of things going on in their mind. They are afraid, they are restless. Cardiovascular disease, your digestive, you start to develop digestive disorder. Your immune system becomes weak. You are not yourself. People with anxiety often runs to drugs and they abuse drugs. They believe that's the only way to rest their mind. So people that experience anxiety, to let go of that thinking, that panic behavior, they run to drugs. They start to become substance abuser.
Hmm.
Okay?
I mean,
Drugs, alcohol, and I believe that's the only way they can cope with it.
wow.
One thing is the relationship, another thing is the relationship. People they often lose relationship with people. Like I said, they become isolated. they are afraid to even go out. So there are a lot of, long-term effects. Once anxiety is in, and we are bringing it to Liberia. When you see those things happening in your community, you see your woman, she's being abused. Whether it's, emotionally, verbally. Verbal abuse is as powerful as physical abuse, if not even worse. You seeing those things, speak to it.
Thank you.
A child is constantly being beaten, overlooked, abused, called names. Look at that stupid child, excuse my French. You good for nothing. You start to hear those things to a child, speak to it. It plays on their emotion, it plays on their mental health. I'll leave it for you now. Let the other people come in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, and Nelson, thank you, Sandy. Uh, in Liberia, I've been a clinician, okay? I've been doing diagnosis, treatment, assessment, diagnosis, and treatment. In our reporting forms, you don't easily find among the top causes of illnesses or condition in Liberia for us to diagnose mental health. We're always in a state of denial. Even though a person will come to the clinic, they're giving their history. You have to ask the person what's happening, they will tell you. But they give you unexplained condition. As a clinician, we should be able to understand that what they're saying clinically, you cannot find it relating to any medical condition. Even if you do a laboratory test, they are negative of every diseases. The first thing a clinician needs to know that this person is having a mental health problem. But because of our understanding to mental health, the new clinician look at it like you want to bring the person down. And the moment they tell somebody there's a mental health problem, the person will feel like they are being fooled. So they would deny the fact. They will deny the fact that they're having mental health issues because why? It is related to craziness in our community. When you hear mental health conditions, they feel that they are crazy, but that is not it. We should today, as we are sitting on a panel, want you to know that anxiety. For example, if you go to the clinic or my clinicians that are listening, the clinicians that are listening, if you find somebody who is having a chronic worry, with variety of concerns, they get giving different symptoms. No complete symptom. You should know that the person is having generalized anxiety disorder. They don't have a particular case explanation. What a particular thing is happening to them, they just giving all kinds of unexplained condition. Know that there's a generalized anxiety disorder. Another thing, the person involved in recurrent condition, they come in with that thing. I want you to know that this is obsessive compulsive disorder. Then lastly, panic disorder. If you know the thing, you will know how to approach it. We are in the clinic. Okay, in Liberia, when we diagnose people, we have a special area, like we have the nurses that were working as an HR. We train the nurses to become mental health clinicians, mental health nurses. So they are right now in the facility, but they are not practicing. As I speak to you, they are not practicing mental health to diagnose the cases, to be one of our major case finding for our reporting system. Where somebody will say, okay, let's look at the top five causes of diseases in Liberia. You will not find mental health to be one of those 5 causes of diseases. You'll find malaria, you'll find different causes of diseases that the epidemiology department of Liberia looking at. It will be also looking at diseases of outbreaks, but we're not looking at mental health as one of the major causes of problems in Liberia. So this particular discussion we're having, I want all of the clinicians. For the past 20 years, I've been working as a clinician in Liberia. I just 4 years out of Liberia. I still practice. I was in Liberia, I still practice. So all of the conditions are coming to my facility or coming to me. After doing my assessment, I also noticed that we have a mental health condition. But our people, when you tell them, they say, I wish. You won't tell me I go do the lab? All the things and the people check on me, no sickness, and not find nothing in my body. And then the next thing they can do, they either go to the church or they go to the people that can consent. And when they go do that, the first thing the people can do They will start pointing at people who the root cause of your condition. And when you leave from them, when you get to know that your intake, it increases the anxiety. It increases the anxiety in you. It causes more problem. But then the people, they will punish you by giving you to do fasting prayer, by rolling, by doing everything. At the end of the day, you see people can fall and die in Liberia, and then they'll go to look for the cause of death. But majority of our people that die for unexplained condition or blood pressure is due to anxiety. It's due to mental health. From the past time, like what my Shirley was talking, the war. Myself, when I came, I heard the first time I heard the firework, I was scared. I was checking around, saying, "My goodness, what kind of business is this?" But anxiety
You
is.
thought the thing I follow you, eh? You thought the
I
thing you
thought,
went
brother,
away from me like
I
you.
thought, I thought, brother, with me, but but however, you will see some of my person that
Yeah.
will come to the clinic that feet sweating. They can say, "Oh, my Cora, my feet sweating." Because now I really on a mental health condition. I misdiagnosed people before. I regret it. I misdiagnosed people before. People telling me that palm sweating. And the just when they're explaining that they just take it and we don't have no time to listen. But the best thing we need to do after the long-term condition, what do we do? What we need to do is just to talk.
Thank you.
It's just to hold somebody hand. Say, I understand. It's just to look in their eyes to show them love. And then maybe a mental health counselor, jail medicine person, or somebody who can cause sin. They will sit there and listen to you, and they will not condemn you. They will not tell you that you know that your behavior caused this thing, or that your intake caused it. They will show you love, and they will try to look at one of the causes from anxiety. Maybe they'll say the generalized anxiety disorder, then they work around that. So our people can graduate. We all having anxiety attack, we having panic attack, we having a lot of problems in Liberia because of our community. Because the last thing, before I let go of you people, do you know that we have a major anxiety problem during the election? When the people started to say that the election year, it will not be easy. People will die, blood will share. People started buying food, putting it in their homes. People started to leave the street very early. There are people develop some heart problems. They develop heart problems because of the unknown. Of the unknown. So Liberia, we need to have a mental health whole department. Even though we have it, but we need to strengthen the mental health department in Liberia and make it a focus. And make it
Thank
a focus. Yes.
thanks, Miss Cora. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot. Shirley, you want to come in?
Yeah, definitely, Nelson. Yeah, with the long-term cause or effect, I mean, of mental health can actually mess with your, again, it goes back to your everyday life, because if you have anxiety disorder,
Mhm.
and you are somebody who is feared of your life and all that stuff, it affect your life in different ways, because you can't focus, and so you won't be able to keep a job, you won't be able to work. It also affects your sleep as well, because you won't be able to sleep because you are constantly worried. It will also give you like muscle, like your muscle will be so intense. So it messes with your physical and your mental health, because physically you can't do the things that you're supposed to do or the things that you used to do, and so it will also mess with your job. So like if I'm doing a treatment plan
Mhm.
for an individual, I go through 13 domains. Okay, so I will go through like your education, your personal life, your social life, your family life, your job, um, and your, of course, your mental health, your physical health. So like just go through everything that has to do with your everyday life. I go through all of that. And then I try to see if your physical health is something that your mental health is affecting. And then if that is necessary for treatment, Because if it is something where because of your mental health, you cannot keep a job because you can't focus, you are constantly worried, or because of your mental health, you can go to school and focus and study your lesson. So we have to look into all of that. So it actually affects every aspect of your life if it's not taken care of, and if you are not going through therapy or try to get coping skills, because that's another thing that I help the client with as well. Try to come up with coping skills, and every individual coping skill will be different. Okay, so it's individualized to be able to help somebody who is going through mental health problem, to kind of help them to get back on track. And some of them you cannot help them to get back on track. And so if we try to talk about this thing early and try to like people are aware of what is going on around them and try to get help, because it's easy, especially in Liberia. I'm telling you, and we still do that here, that you can't sleep and you think your village people are after you. Okay, your village people are not after you. I'm sorry. You can't sleep because you have so many things on your mind. And if you have so many things on your mind and you have that anxiety or depression, you are depressed, you are not going to focus. So that has nothing to do with your village people. And if you are depressed, it affects your health. And if it affects your health, you get heart attack. I mean, it's that simple. I don't need to be a medical doctor to tell you that if you are depressed, it's going to affect your heart. And so a lot of our brothers and sisters will go into the bathroom and they will, God forbid, die in the bathroom. I heard so many things about that. But now this is somebody like and Cindy said earlier, that were having marital problem, and out of nowhere they go in the bathroom, they died. And guess what? We will always come up with something that, oh, they are village people, man. Like, yeah, her village people didn't kill her. Or, you know, her husband family or from her great grandfather's side, they were after her. That has nothing to do with any of that. We need to take care of our health, and we need to focus on taking care of our mental health. We need to try to keep ourselves happy. People, I'm telling you, self-care is important. Try to do the things that will keep you happy. If you are sad, try to talk to somebody. If you are going through problem, try to get someone to talk to. Do not stay into things that are going to keep you depressed, that are going to keep you down. Because once that happens, you are going to create a lot of mental health problems. And you're going to end up dying, and people will try to find some kind of witchcraft or some kind of old man that kill you. Because it has to be someone that killed her in Liberia. I've never seen anyone that died in Liberia where they're like, oh, that person actually died from heart attack. They will say, hey, like young person, I just saw that girl, man. I just talked to her. And she just went out and died like that. What are you talking about? I knew her village people were going to kill her. She just graduated to with her master. So her village people kill her.
Don't get new job. Don't get new job. And then then you fall off in the office, forget it. That's a chair.
Yes, it's so stressful because especially this, as I'm sure most of you can relate in this country, you are in a management position. First of all, you find yourself, you are the only Black person. And then to even make it worse, you are African. Okay, you African. And a lot of people that are watching, maybe they can relate, but you African and you are in a management position, and these, I don't want to call names, have to report to you, and it's a problem. So you have to stand out, and you have to come home and maybe pick your children up from daycare. Your wife, your husband, you have to focus on that other life. There's so many stress.
Wow.
So that's what it's important to take care of yourself.
I thank you. I got a position, the place I'm working, sorry. And they when I go to work, somebody who are qualified, they want to come and bring me down. And the working environment was so stressful for me. When I go, my blood pressure can't go down. The last time they took me from over there was in the ambulance. anxiety. I get it. Somebody just feel that I'm black. I should not be the one to tell them what to do. You're not believe training section and all. I will train somebody and then they will tell the person after few days to come and train me. I said, what kind of trouble I see here? And you know, they can see the quality. Look, to working in this place here, it's not easy, especially don't come from Africa, then you get a high accent that I want in my mouth. Oh, no way. You see your
Thank you.
trouble. So
Thank
it's
you.
not easy. Anxiety is serious.
Thanks a whole lot. Maggie, you want to take us home on this talking point?
Yeah, Cora, Sandy, Miss Cora, Sandy, and Sherry have said, I'm gonna go through the signs. I mean, they mentioned some signs and symptoms. So I'm gonna go through some of the signs too and some of the symptoms that we see in people with anxiety attack. We talk about feeling nervous, like something about to happen. I mean, like for example, let's take it to school. You're about to take this test. You're about to take this big test. Can you hear me? Because I keep saying mute. You're about to take the big test and you're so worried about if you're going to pass the test or what the professor, we all go through that. I went to school. That part of anxiety attack, it fall on that too. Then we talk, and once you having anxiety attack, we talk about the brain, your mental state. And we also talk about your GI, your stomach. You start going to in the bathroom. I got someone that I know. The moment something happened to them, I mean something happened or they doing the work, they'll go in the bathroom 100 times because your bladder open. Your bladder open. That's part of anxiety attack.
Right.
There's part of panicking that panicking come on into that also. Then we talk about hyperventilation. Your heart rate go up. Sometimes your heart can even skip a beat, which they call murmur. Your heart can, there's somebody like I can say the person jack you right, and they come behind that push. Then your heart just skip. That can affect not only your body, it can affect your brain. That people can die. That brain can actually die. That sometimes even traveling, you get a big day. You traveling to Liberia. We have heard people travel leave from here, and the moment they reach to Liberia, they die. But the next thing we hear, the family wish them. Sometimes it have nothing to do with it. The poor family, it have absolutely nothing. It
Okay.
has to do with somebody you traveling and you have all these things that you have to do. That's why Shelly said, take care of yourself first. Take
Thank
care
you.
of yourself. Be calm. When you calm, your brain calm. You sleep. Sleep depression. We did not talk about sleep depression yet. Sleep depression, because when you have anxiety attack, it affect your sleep, and we have to sleep. We have to sleep 8 hours for our body to function, our brain, everything in our body connected. When one thing is not working, the other part is not working. So everything has to come together to work for our blood to flow. Then we
Thank you.
have what you say? 1 second.
Yeah. Thank
Then
you.
we talk about
We want to transition. Okay, so just take 20 seconds to
20
conclude now.
seconds. That we
Yeah.
have to give the people some sign, because Miss Cora talking about that trembling, hand sweating, palm sweating. And when you going through panic attack, you can sweat. In our body, we need to hold our the water. I'm gonna say the water for the layman. I would say water. We need to hold our water into
Electrolytes.
our system
Yeah.
for the layman. And one thing I want to talk about again, and your heart. Your heart is very, very important. So once your brain is not working and you have enough heart rate that is rising, you can fall down and die in a second. And I don't know if our people, one thing we would later on we have to talk about is first aid in Liberia. First aid.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, Maggie, and I think it's been a great discussion on this.
Yeah.
I think we have a long way to go because it appears to me that maybe
If you're only
two
on one
days,
topic there, you can't even go for
two
1
days,
week.
yeah,
Anxiety is
2 days,
big.
2 days might not even do it.
Yeah.
In terms of helping us
Just
to
in
exhaust this.
anxiety,
But
you can go for a whole month on anxiety talking. It's a different
yeah,
component of anxiety that come into it. And we
yeah,
even talk about it and talk about how to even start to treat it.
yeah. So, but let's take some calls. Let's take a few calls.
Nelson, before we take call,
Hmm.
I can borrow 5 seconds, right?
Who you want to
So,
borrow the 5 seconds from?
for
No,
yourself,
Man,
Who
Jack,
you borrowing 5 seconds from?
already you can get it all the time. No.
Miss Doyen said something, and I just want to quickly speak to it, right? And that's what
Okay.
I'm doing this as part of my work,
Hmm.
integrating mental health into primary care setting. So she's saying Liberia, they were training nurses to diagnose mental illnesses and treat them in primary care setting. It's very important, and that's what we are gravitating towards now in the US. What I do is I
Hmm.
go into primary care clinics and train mental health counselors, mental health providers, so that they can work alongside the primary care doctor to diagnose mental health illnesses and treat them in the same place. So, for instance, a woman come to a primary care clinic, right? Let's say in Liberia,
Hmm.
maybe she's pregnant, and then the primary care doctor noticed that she's, showing some sign of depression. She's showing some sign of anxiety. Instead of just treating maybe the issue that surround with the pregnancy, you can also then, get the mental health counselor in that same clinic to treat the woman mental illnesses as well, to address the depression, to address the anxiety. Someone that she can find comfort in to speak to. Maybe that woman come into the clinic, she will feel more comfortable to tell her primary care doctor that she's being abused at home, right? So we need to find means to incorporate mental health services into our primary care clinics in Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. So we'll take just 5 calls on this one, and I mean 5 calls, and then we transition to our next talking point. So the numbers 0555 0555 and you can also call the WhatsApp number that I'm going to pin up here to be a part of our discussion here tonight. But let me go now to take this person from here, then we can come back. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you calling from?
Mazur, I'm calling from 72nd district number 5.
Let's hear you.
And thank you for the discussion. You see, our main problem is why the brother are just thinking about the heart. You see, sometimes it can be somebody hardship. So now you come from work, you not get nothing else doing but the confusion in the area. But medical center. So we only thing I want to figure is that our incoming parents to see how best they can look to the rural area to see how best to improve more facilities in the hospital and our people may get to get treatment on time.
Thank you.
So,
thanks a lot.
like only I get to say so cool to our people in the studio this morning.
Thank you. Let's take this one. Hello.
Yeah, Nelson.
Yeah. Thomas.
And the rest of the panelists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my name is Thomas Coleman. I call from Upper Carwin.
Go ahead.
I got B to my question. I just want to ask the panelists, does mental health has to do with your speech? I mean, the way you speak, the utterance. Does mental health have to do with something relating to that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're discussing a topic and my input is kind of quite different from the way
The
everybody
people
should be
talking
speaking.
orange, then you talking apple, right? They're talking
Yes, so
different things,
does
then you
mental
can't
health
talk
have,
different things.
I
Okay.
don't know whether they can answer me now. I got B to that question.
Yes. Just tell him yes, Nelson.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
the
Yes.
answer is yes.
So can we cleverly say that's one of the reasons why we got people on the late night politics, and even the spoon show. Somebody when they speak, the whole country will be telling you, say, yeah, take that person from the show, take that person from the show.
no,
Yes, yes. We don't ignore it. Yes,
Thomas,
I
you
was.
want to bring politics into
No. I
mental
will
health?
answer it. I will answer that. I will answer
Thank you.
that.
Yes.
Okay, so they answer your question. They say yes. They say
Yeah,
yes.
yes. And we will get to the topic. And let me say one thing. What's the
waiting
name
for
again?
any name. Thomas. Yeah, Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas. We will get to that topic. We started talking about part of it yesterday.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Let's do it there, Thomas.
So keep
Thomas, let's do it
listening.
Yeah.
let's squeeze in another person here. Hello. Hello. Hello, are you there?
No, that's a good thing you guys brought on the mental health discussion. It's so nice.
Somebody want to use the discussion to deal with another person. You're not gonna happen.
I'm
Hello.
not happy.
Nelson, the person trying to clear up that mental health, they're not keeping it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this person, you are very low.
Say he had a B to the question, so I don't know.
No, he did.
Oh, I didn't. Maybe
Oh my word! Your gadget is coming in very low. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, let's see. Again, it's not coming through. I'm trying to increase. Yeah, you can call back. Please try to call back. You could just, turn it off and call back. Something is not okay. I don't know whether it's with my WhatsApp. Something is not okay. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you are live. Your name and where you call from.
I'm just calling from Lower Magidi.
Okay. Let's hear you.
Yes, I just want to contact my incoming person because I know our country is coming to be and things is going to come on.
Thank you.
I'm praying that we do bring an education center for us so that we will be able to end our education because for me, I thought I've dropped out from school since.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's hold you there. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for the show and thanks for the people that are on the show because this stuff has been dragging on for a very long time. That everything is which. You go to the hospital, people get sick, they go different places, and they diagnose them the which. It's so bad that you in America that because anytime you go to the hospital in America here, they will ask you for your family medical background, so to speak. Or your mom had high blood pressure, your pa had it, they would list all of those things. And you don't even know where your parents died from because everything is which. So I'm just so grateful to the people that you have there to educate the Liberian people. And I really hope that you have more of these people on your show with different areas of everyday living in Liberia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Wow.
So we'll take the last call and then we transition. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Koda.
Yeah, morning. Let's hear you, sir.
Let me say thank you to all the contributions through education they are conducted. Mr. Koda, first of all, my name is Lafi M. Wadis, and give you my number. You know, what the people say exactly it just I don't want to refer it to because I got similar problems that the people explain about. And one of the people just mentioned about sometimes they go in the back, they get fed or they die, they say that wish. It is wish. Let me commend her for that. It is exactly what is happening to me for which I even went a few days ago to see and talk to you on this, and I gave you my number. I will call you when you call your business. Mr. Koda, I can tell you for free. Basically, I'm sure. See, sometimes all part of my body, my inner, all part of my feelings of VIP, I don't see it. I can tell you for sure. Even you can because we're not getting through to talk to on the line. I'll
Thank
call
you.
you, but you're canceling my call. Mr. Kuda, I tell you, for which I went to you because I went to a center where they asked me to pay $20 for body checkup, but I don't have to. I don't get it.
Okay, so let's
Mr.
talk
Kuda,
off the air. Let's talk off the air. Let's
That's
talk.
mental health.
Yeah,
It needs-
but I
it needs
appreciate
counseling.
you. Thanks a lot for your contribution. All right. Thanks a whole lot. Yeah. So we have to transition now. I think it's been a great discussion so far. And thank you again, Maggie. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Miss Kura. Thanks as well to Cindy. And we look forward to another episode of this conversation tomorrow.
Eating disorder.
Eating disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good one.
Because I watched Nelson was really shocked about that one. He like, what? Eating? Yeah.
That's
Eating.
where I took it from.
Yeah.
That's where I took it from. So we will discuss it to
Let's
the
discuss
details.
that
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yes.
And I think Liberians would be interested in hearing that.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah.
also talking about anorexia too.
Yeah.
That's part of the eating disorder, Mikey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
They put the no food in the country. You want to talk about eating disorder?
Yeah, so I don't know what we should actually talk about
transition.
eating disorder because
It's a mental health condition.
I want us to transition now, guys. I want us to transition now. I want us, yeah, certainly. I want us to transition now to some of the training issues in the country. Plenty things happening. So one of those training issues has to do with I don't know how many of you have seen this. I don't know how many of you have seen this.
Go ahead, though. I don't follow Facebook like that.
Let me see. Okay, I didn't get to upload this one. Let me try to do this. Let me try to do this. But while I'm uploading this, most of you are aware that the battle for the speakership of Liberia, the 55th legislature, is on. And of all of the names that have surfaced, there are two names that are ringing bells. And Liberians have been expressing their views on the two individuals. You have Representative Rachel Nangwe-Kun, and you have Honorable J. Fonati Kofa. Representative Kofa is from the CDC. He served as Deputy Speaker in the 54th legislature. And now he wants to take a step higher from the Deputy Speakership to the Speakership. Representative Richard Nangwe-Kun, on the other hand, has been a lawmaker since 2017. He was elected by the people of District 11, Montserrat County. He wants to be the Speaker. He's the man from the Unity Party. And of course, the debate is on. The lawmakers are playing the cards, and there is what appears to be serious negotiation going on from different corners. But the big debate is Liberians are divided on this. Some people think that the Unity Party government should not have a speaker who is from the Unity Party. As you know, the speaker is the third most powerful person in the country. So those on that side of the argument maintain this position that if the government should be effective, if the legislature, which happens to be the first branch of government, should be effective, if that legislature should be critical enough, then the person who comes in as the speaker should not be from the ruling establishment. The person should rather come from the opposition bloc to be able to oppose and be able to look at the face of the president and say, Mr. President, this thing would not go through and X, Y, Z. So that's one side of the argument. The other side of the argument that's got Liberians divided is that, look, we need a speaker. We need a speaker who is from the ruling establishment. So this is where the Richard Kun and the Fonati Kofa card gets to play through. I mean, this is where the battle is. So the folks are saying that, look, no, we should have a speaker that comes from the Unity Party. because we don't want an opposition a speaker who will be there opposing to every single developmental instrument that the ruling establishment wants to put forth, only because you come from the opposition community. So because of this, folks think that Mr. Fonati Kofa should not be given the opportunity to serve. He should not be speaker, despite serving as deputy speaker for under the CDC administration. Now, the other side of the argument is this. The folks who support the idea of a unity party speakership hold on to this thought, this belief that the CDC, it would be nothing wrong for the unity party to have a speaker that comes from the unity party at this point, because the CDC, under the CDC says yes, Speaker Buffer Chambers were from the CDC. The deputy speaker for Nati Kofa was equally from the CDC. So they think that it's a unity party's time, so it should be the same way. And so there is this issue that people are divided on with respect to the speakership, who becomes speaker, who should go, who should stay, Richard Kuhn or Fonati Kofa, and all of that. Where do you guys stand on this? Let's hear your thoughts on this one, and then we can take on from there. I see Ami has joined us. Ami, thank you for joining the show. George, thank you for coming on. Jerry Yima, Nimpa,
Hello,
the
young
Palestinian
man,
governor. Yeah, the guy said they wanted you from that background with the mental health, expertise to be on. They were not ready for that politics thing, so now they're here. So
yeah, I was suffering from that panic stuff some of the time during the.
You had that mental health disorder as well.
Yeah, that mental health disorder. Ali, I will not learn and see what
you were supposed to be on.
No,
experience
I was actually preparing some palm butter, so.
You always quoting palm butter, Jerry. Come on.
So let's
eat palm butter
let's move on with this, guys. Where do you stand on this? This time around, we'll start from down here, then we'll go up. Let's start with Jerry. Jerry, this whole idea, this whole debate about the speakership for the 55th legislature, Representative Richard Kuhn and Representative J. Fonati Kofa, where do you stand? What's your position on this?
Well, I'm speaking as Jerry Nyima Nyipa.
No, my man. We know that you are a supporter, or in fact, a star of the Unity Party. You were named on the campaign team, so don't disassociate yourself with Jerry Nyimpa.
Let me say this. I support Richard Namwe Kong.
Why?
I've known him to be a people-centered person, and he enjoyed re-election from the people of District 11. I mean, heavily contested district, and he survived. And one of the reasons why we are supporting Richard Namwe Kong is because, look, listen, we have a distraction, and the distraction factor. Richard Namwe Kong have demonstrated to be a very good legislator. He played a very key role on both the Ways, Means, Finance and Budget Committee. He was always critical. His opinions were there. And at some point in time, when he noticed that things were in the interest of the country, he supported. At some point in time, even when the Unity Party said we take their position, Richard Namwe Kong said, no, I'm not going with the Unity Party because I know this is in the interest of our country. So you need such a speaker who, even if he doesn't have a press conference, you go to the president, Mr. President, what you sent to us is not correct. We can work on it this way. He will not be like the buffer chamber kind of speaker who will sit and decide to maybe people who have dissenting opinions and marginalize them.
But Jerry, the point on this
the
aspect
reason,
is,
the reason
if the man is from the Unity Party, he's going to succumb to everything coming from the executive.
No, that's a misinformation that is out there. That is misinformation. Richard Nambekun is such a person. Imagine, he will not be like an Akara's Gray, who even when Georgia bring Igbo man due, and he knows that he does not conform with the IMF policy in terms of loan, he will still stand on the floor and support it. Richard Nambekun will always say, no, I disagree with this, I agree with this. As a matter of fact, he doesn't have the voting right until maybe there's a tie before he can break the tie. As a speaker, he's a people-centered person. So, because we want to, and one thing I want to guarantee you, we said it on the platform before, Joe Biden not going to send any kangaroo thing at the legislature. So we're going to have an easy flow of our agenda. But because of some people who believe that the only way you think you can be an opposition is to stand against everything. You saw Senator DeLong, who was one of the critical voices, at some point in time said, I take this stand, I support this, I'm against this. That's the kind of branch of government we look forward to. We're not looking for a rubber stamp. Because myself, even in the future, if I'm the legislature, I don't want a legislator that will say yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir to everything. So Richard Nambekun, not that he only have experience about the administration.
But Jerry, this whole idea of and this is a line that a lot of folks are pushing as well. The whole idea of a CDC government having the deputy speakership and the speakership for the past 6 years. Deputy speakership and the speakership. Don't you think the Unity Party should be at this time doing something different, since this is about change? You don't want to get hold of the third most powerful position in the country, since in fact you already have the first and second and all of that.
The issue is, they say evil doer things sometimes evil because they think the way they used to be pushing around with Yaka Koluba. This is a serious government headed by a serious person. Only people who send agreement like Igbo man due there and kangaroo things will be worrying about what kind of speaker to make. But because Richard Nambekun understands the manifesto of the ruling party, the CDC, the Unity Party, and he understands how to deal with his colleagues. He has the interpersonal relationship and maturity. So he knows exactly how to move around. He's not going to antagonize people. It's not going to be like the way when even a demon document comes and somebody will say, because a speaker, he have done it before. Like I said, I gave him a record. He said, look, listen. He said, my people, United Party will come and have a major press conference, say we stand on this position. But once that, even though it was supported by the president, and when he knew that it was in the interest of our people, he supported it. He can do the same. He can tell the president, Mr. President, this other document, the people will decide.
Thank you. Let's hold you there, Jerry. Let's hold you there, Jerry. Let's take Josh. Josh, your CDC we saw that your CDC for the past 6 years had the deputy speakership. CDC had the speakership. CDC had the presidency. And all of those different positions, they were all occupied by people who believe in the CDC manifesto. Josh, is there any reason why the Unity Party at this time should not have the speakership? What do you think, Representative Kuhn and Representative Fonati Kofa?
So, Nelson, can you hear me?
You're alive.
Thank you. So, I think the Unity Party won because of all these complaints being around that CDC was taking everything. CDC was all about the Southeast, and CDC did, CDC died. And if you saw it wrong at the time, they cannot repeat it. It's simple as that. They saw everything wrong with us taking the speakership, taking the deputy speakership, and taking the pro tem and everything. If they saw it wrong at the time, it should be wrong now. So this is not rocket science. It's just simple, analogy. You just look at it and say, look, if it was not good for Paul, it cannot be good for John. So I don't know why they're twisting and turning now, because they knew it. Every government wants to have a free ride in the legislature, because every agenda that they want to put out is to boost their performance. And if you don't have the house, your performance can be stalled. That is, there'll be a lot of obstacle.
So for the past 6 years, CDC had the House, CDC had the speakership and the deputy speakership. Is it fair to say that the CDC performance was not stalled because of that leverage they had, the speakership and the deputy speakership?
It wasn't stalled. And that's the thing. That's why you
So
saw
the
those
CDC was at maximum performance, you think, for the past 6 years because they had that leverage?
I would say that. And here's why I would say that. I think if you look at what the president was able to do, he wouldn't have done it if he never had the speakership or the pro tem. Where he had these two people on his side, and he could do a lot. Look, we can measure how to call progress, or we can measure um, leadership with resources as well. You know what I mean? Resources cannot be taken out of the equation when you're trying to look at how people succeed in what they do. So we can say that getting things done in the house, it was easy for them. However, mobilizing resources were hard. So they couldn't move at the pace they were moved if they had the resources on their side. So, but all that being said, I think Unity Party should not now back down on what they used to criticize. If you criticize it then and say it was wrong, you shouldn't do it. It's simple.
Why Fanatic Kofa this time? Why not Richard Cohen?
Oh, because Richard Cohen, he supports the president, he supports the UP. So there's no way he will be there and ask questions when anything comes to him. You know what I mean? If trust me, if one of maybe opposition in the Senate now, or in in the legislature, says, look, we want to make sure that you sack, for example, your foreign minister, because he's not listening to us when we call him, he doesn't come. The president just called Richard Cohen and said, Richard Cohen, that's my interest. So please don't allow that to happen. It will not happen.
You think so?
In that, guess what? Liberia gets punished. That means we'll have a foreign minister who will not be working because he and the legislation cannot work hand in hand. So these are the consequences. But the thing is that if you have a clean hands, like we say it in Liberia, if you think that void of any backdoor dealings, you can do everything you want to do clearly. That means if you propose a budget, you deal with the budget. You know what I mean? You don't put a lot of things in the background. If you're going to work in that, you don't need a protein. You don't need it.
Thank you.
The speaker. So I think the UP should know what they criticized yesterday should be criticized today, so they shouldn't do it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Sandy, you want to come in?
Yeah, my 2 cents on this. No, Nelson, I started a show talking about this thing here. For me, I am looking up to the legislatures to make the best decision. I do not have a side on this particular topic, and there's a good reason for that. I want a speaker that knows the issue, that is able to bring some sort of dignity to the House of Representatives. There are names out there. I mean, we are just talking about two, but we are hearing people like Musa Hassan Belete. We are hearing people like this guy that is in Lofa now.
Thomas
Pala. Thank you. I say experience matter, leadership ability matters when it comes to who is the third person in command for any country. So those that have the voting power, which will be the members of the House of Representatives, should look carefully at the records of those individuals, their leadership ability, their experiences, how they can relate to other people, and how they are able to bring some level of good transformation to the House of Representatives. And then, based on those, elect the right person. What I want to discourage, however, is the situation where people are bought to elect a person either based on some sort of travel lines or based on the influence of cash. Let us desist from voting based on tribal affiliation. I have some level of fear, meaning from the new folks that are coming in. We have a lot of them coming in, a lot of new representatives. Some of them have not worked many years, some of them coming in broke. Those people can easily be persuaded using cash power.
You think so?
I think so. And I want to encourage them.
But Cindy, where do you stand on this whole debate, this whole argument about a unity party having the speakership, and some folks saying that no, in order to have a strong legislature, unity party should not have the speakership. Where do you stand on that?
Nelson, these are political campaigns, and when you are campaigning, you give reasons like that. Let the unity party have it because then the speaker is going to support the agenda of the president. No, let the CDC have it because we want some opposing view, we want people that will oppose. Those are campaign view. What I would say, in a democratic system like our country, the people decide.
The people should decide.
The people
okay,
decide.
So let me ask you a personal question. I know you're trying to dodge this thing. You said from the beginning of the show you're not speaking on it. But you, Cindy, as an individual, as a Liberian, we know you don't have a voting right when it comes to that. But what do you think? As an individual, as a Liberian who wants the best for your country, is it prudent for the Unity Party to have the speakership at this time? Will it be a good thing to give it out to the opposition bloc, the CDC, that's had it for the past 6 years?
This is not something you give out. It's not a gift. It is the decision of the people, and that's what I'm going to stay with. You don't give it out or you take it. The people give it. In this case, the members of the House of Representatives will decide. So when you are asking me whether the CDC should keep it or it should be passed on to the UP, that is the decision of the members of House of Representatives. So as a Liberian, what I'm going to continue to say is to encourage those that have the voting power to make the right choice. Vote a person with experience. Vote a person with leadership abilities or capabilities.
Okay.
Vote a person who will reach across the aisle to ensure that there's some sort of maturity, dignity, and leadership in the House of Representatives.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Mikey, let's hear you. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I don't know how that we came down, dropped down to just two names, because I was hearing Musa Berete and
Berete is still in the picture as well. But the two top names are the ones we're talking about. It's like discussing the election. There are over 20 political parties, but you're talking about the two top political parties, the CDC and the UP. That's the same case here. Richard Kuhn of the Unity Party, Fonati Kofa of the CDC.
Okay, so are we saying that the other names are not important in the discussion because the top two names we're hearing? Because I think Thomas Fala is from the CDC. I was even surprised, so not even surprised because in the US, even to the House, we have Republicans and Democrats
Okay,
going
let's
against one another.
let's put
So
it this way.
let's get to
Let's put it this way.
Nigeria.
Let's put it this way, Maggie. So the whole debate, the whole argument about Unity Party getting the speakership versus the debate of giving the speakership to the opposition community. Okay, let's not just say CDC or to give it to Thomas Salah, Musa Ability, or whoever. Where do you stand? Any opposition? Where do you stand on that? Should the Unity Party have the speakership at this time, given that the CDC had it for 6 years, or should we have a situation where it's going to go over to the CDC, or let's say the CDC or any opposition political party will take it this time around?
I'm not looking at it as though CDC had it for 6 years. So is the Unity Party, and Unity Party is going to be steering the affairs of the country. We should just give it to Unity Party. That's not how I'm looking at it.
Because how do you look at it,
if we start to go that line, we will have the people from the other side saying, "Oh, now you're talking about CDC had it, so it's like, oh, that's my time. This is not entitlement." That's why I want us to to move from that part. It's not entitlement. It's not entitled. Unity Party is not entitled to have a speakership. But what I do, I'm concerned about is pushing the country agenda. We voted in JMB. We have it as the president in life. He's gonna be the inauguration is gonna be on the 22nd of January. He had his platform. He have his agenda, and I know the UP representative is also in line with JMB platform. The Liberian people elected JMB because of what was in his platform. I don't think they just elected him because he's handsome. We sat on this very platform and took almost 1 month, 2 months, and telling the people about JMB platform. So if we had a speaker that is in line with JMB platform, I think it will move the country in the right direction. They're having somebody from the opposite side. Yes, we need someone to go across the aisle, and I've been hearing that it's a person that go in both ways. He voted with CDC when he thought it was in the best interest of the country. So that's somebody that you need as a speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Maggie. Thanks a lot. Are you done? You're done, right?
No, I'm not done yet, but I'll hold my time for closing.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to make a quick point. Yeah. Something to clarify.
Huh? Jerry, which quick point? Jerry, you make that point. Let's have
I just wanted to
Miss Cora come in. Which
no, just 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I wanted to
Okay. Let's hear the 30 seconds.
No, I just wanted my brother George to know he tried to mix apple and oranges. George, we have case we were talking about regional laws in the whole country where speaker, president from the southeast, pro tem from the southeast, deputy speaker from the southeast, as compared to a president coming from Lofa and Richard Nambe Kun, even though he represents Monserrato, but he's originally from the southeast. And then you get the president pro tem, incoming president pro tem from Basso. It's a form of decentralization of governance.
Thank you.
I wanted you to get that point like sink in your head. Maybe if you can come back, we can talk about it.
Ms. Cora, you want to go? Let's hear you.
Yes, I want to say thank you. This is an important discussion. And firstly, I listened to Josh, but I would like to know the Speaker of Liberia. Did he push the Liberians' agenda? The Deputy Speaker, did they push the Liberians' agenda to ensure that we have development in our country? If Nati Kofa is coming up vying to become Speaker of Liberia, what did he do before? What are those things that he did in the House of Representatives that changed the lives of the Liberians and brought development that we can follow? What did he do? What bills that came on the table that was bogus, and then he kicked against? What concessional agreement that came on the table that he, as Deputy Speaker, worked with the Speaker and said, no, we should not sign paper like this. We should not sign this kind of concessional agreement. It's not in the interest of the Liberian people. What are those things? Maybe I need to follow that. I know he do have experience, but there are things that you can see people doing and you say, okay, the person is capable of doing it in the future. And then I listened to Nippon. He was talking about Kun. He spoke a lot of things about Kun, and in the community also I listened to people making calls, and they spoke a lot of good things. So he do have experience. But right now, what I want to see is that we need Liberians, a speaker, a deputy speaker that will push the agenda of development in our country. Our country been down for more than 30 years. We've not been developing. It's about time that we see people get involved in development. There are a lot of things happening. The world is right now is a global village, especially having internet facility, having all of these things, Facebook, and all of the media institution. A lot of things are ongoing now. So people have that say into the government. So what we need to do is to have a strong speaker that can work with the president, the agenda of this, the president and the people that will be in leadership to ensure that we have development, we have all of the pillars that we need to see, to work with, to ensure that our country become developed. So having said that, your characteristics matters. So if we're going to have somebody as a speaker, we shouldn't have somebody that have bad records. It will not show good things for Liberia. Liberia right now, we starting everything almost over. So if we look at Kun and look at look at how they call him for Nancy Kofa, both of them they are qualified to become speaker. But when you look at the person characteristics, you look at a character, what would make the international community wanting to work with Liberia? What would boost us up there? Already we have information that he have criminal record. Yes, we voted him that he been working, but now we're bringing more on the public scene. What we have to ask him to go out there. We're being asking him to do a lot of things. Most of the responsibility in the House of Representatives will be on his shoulder because he will be breaking time when it comes to decision making.
But Ms. Coral, considering that particular point that you're pushing, this is someone who served as a deputy speaker for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
Did that particular record prevent him from performing his tasks, his
because
duties,
he was not in the driver's seat? Because he was not in the driver's seat. You understand? Being at the back and in the seat, they are two different things. Now he's going to have more responsibility as compared to the time he was in the back seat. If we're going to put it ahead, it means that there are a lot of things people will know about you that they never knew about. If you decide to get in front, people will dig your history. People will try to do everything to either promote you or bring you down. And we don't want anybody coming in the House of Representatives as our speaker for people to bring that character down, to bring that personality on the table, to say things. Well, what we want right now is to have somebody that we can bring forth who also do have the qualification and move forward and move out.
Amy, please mute. Yeah.
And move the agenda of the presidents ahead. I know that we're not going to look at Kun. If me, I will support Kun. Okay, I'm not going to look at Kun and say yes, Kun will just say everything Boaka say, and he will just go by it. No, I don't think it'll be like that. I don't think the House of Representatives right now, the kind of people are saying the House of Representatives, I don't think they will just say that and say so say one, so say all. The Liberia of yesterday cannot be the Liberia of today. The way people participating in discussion, it has never been like that. I think this is a new democratic government, and I think the speakership would not only be an easy route, but Kun will make a good Speaker of the House of Representatives. Thank you.
Amy, you want to go?
Sure. So, hey guys. Speaker. So, everybody has some kind of fear about having a speaker from one party, the same party the person that comes from. And I think that's wrong. And I don't think that's what people are complaining about doing the CDC government. And Jerry had just touched on that. So, George, it's not the same. You're misleading our people. They were talking about regionalizing the government. There's nothing wrong with you having your president and the speaker from the same party. That's what's supposed to be. I mean, the only thing that is wrong with that is you knowing that being a puppet for the president. You knowing that the bill is bad for the country. Whatever he sends down there is bad for the country. And you can't tell him, look in his face and say, Mr. President, this would not be a good thing for the country. I don't think we can push this through. And I don't think the speaker can just get up by himself and pass a bill. Is that how it works in the House?
No.
Okay, so I don't think people talk about, oh, he would just do that. He would just no. You're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be that way. So the reason why people are nervous about Fananti Kofa being the speaker is that, I mean, before Joseph Baca haven't even been inaugurated yet. CDC has a plan already. How they want to make him feel. They would suffer him. They would do this. They would do that. How can you look at something like that and say, oh yes, let's do that. Let's put in this party. Let's put the guy from that party to be the speaker. It doesn't make any sense. It's okay for the president to have the speaker from his party because it will help push his agenda. And his agenda is what the Liberian people voted on. If you depart from that, then it's another ballgame that we're talking about here. But if you would just have somebody there to just intentionally, because you're bitter, because your party got whooped, so you want to suffer the Liberian people, even if there's something, or because you wanted to say, oh, during we are time it was better though. Oh, this one we never seen it saying we are time, oh, then that's a mess that you're trying to create, and you think you're trying to move the country forward. That's not moving the country forward. That's suffering the people because you don't want them to have a good government. You don't want the president now to succeed because you don't want your government, past government, to look bad. That's not what we want in the House. We don't want you pay my debt, I'll pay my debt. I will do that one. And they didn't want to. No, we don't want that. We want Liberia to move forward. And Ms. Cora said, this is a brand new day in our country. And that's what we should be focusing on. It's not, nothing, don't do that.
Yeah, you have 30 seconds to wrap up.
How do I have 30 seconds when I sat on here? Everybody talking for 10 minutes. Nelson, don't do that to me. So like I was saying before, Nelson interrupted me.
I mean, really,
You've been sitting here talking, and he giving your question just for you to go more. I know this. You know why I'll be taking my time right now to be taking time because something. So like Ms. Cora was saying, it's time that the speaker work not only within Liberia, but outside of Liberia now to be able to move the country agenda, not just like the U.S. We have this guy Fananti Kofa. He has a problem here. Okay, nothing wrong with his coming over here, but can he work with the U.S. government? Can he work with other countries? That's the problem. Okay, so everything cannot just be right in Liberia now to say, oh, we should just be doing. The speaker here, they travel outside of the countries to go do other stuff. Why can't we have that in our country and with the people that we have the closest tie with? If they can't trust this person because of the record, they can't work with that person, they can't do that. I don't think that's a good something that we should have in the House. You should have somebody that can be able to.
Do you subscribe to this whole idea of a unity party speakership and a unity party deputy speakership and all of those in the at the top of the structure being from the unity party?
No, for the deputy speakership, I think they should have another party there. But for the speakership, absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, the only thing that is wrong with it, if the person can't stand up, if something is bad, which we know Joseph Walker would not say any bad due down there. But shooting kids, the devil try to fool him. Someone I would say no, Papa, this one is like this, we can't do this, we can't do that. But not somebody that would just sit there because you want to be bitter and just say no, even though you know it's a good thing. You just say no, because you want to make your government back then look good and looks better, because that's the whole agenda they're pushing. So we cannot risk that. And there's nothing wrong with the president and the speaker coming from the same party. Even in the US here, people fight for that. And once you do that, when Obama first got there, he had a House and he had a Senate. And he did a whole lot. In his second term, boy, was it a rocket road for him. A whole lot that he wanted, even to appoint justices, he couldn't do it because they know it was good, but they were just being there because they wanted the black man to fail. That can happen, and we don't want that in Liberia. There's nothing wrong with somebody coming from the same region. Is what they were talking about, not from the same party.
Thank you. So let's okay. Let's take Josh. Go ahead. You want to make a point?
Yes, just a quick one. I just want Amy, Cindy, and the rest of the guys to tell me what's the difference between a regional versus party when it comes to this position we're talking about, the host speaker. What's the difference between if they come from the same region in Liberia, and what is the difference when they come from the same party? What is, just tell me the cause and effects between them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
when you come from the
let's hear Miss Cora, then we'll take it. I mean,
when you come from the same region,
let's just be brief on that.
Yes, you come from the same region, you having the same culture, you having the same ethnic background. But if you come from a party, you have different diverse people in the party, so different ideas. But the culture is more traditional. It's more traditional as compared to the party. That's what I think. I stand to be corrected.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, my understanding, the region is more of one side of the country, right? And the Constitution said to what? To include everybody. Isn't that what the Constitution said? I don't know if it is so. Please help me if I'm making a mistake. To include different people from different. That's why the Constitution said you cannot pick a president and vice president from the same county. Am I lying or something? That's because they wanted to be diverse or decentralized, whatever. But the party is like Ms. Cora said, different people from the party. They're not from the same area. One sector of the people that you make it people from the northeast to feel like, we're not involved in the government. It's just one side. This country, there one side is running the country, and the rest of the other people just there.
Okay, and I think where George is coming from with that question basically has to do with the lines, because when he tried to put that point across about the Unity Party wanting to repeat what the CDC what they criticized about the CDC, then Ami came in with a point that the criticism was about top officials being from the same county or the same region as to folks from the same political party being at the top of the structure. They're talking about the leadership structure. So I think that's where your point, your question is coming from, Josh, and you want to know how is that different, right?
There's a big difference.
Okay, so Jerry, let's hear you. Let's hear you on this quickly.
Yeah, let me give you a typical example, my brother. You know the reason why the Unity Party struggle in Bond County? Because we had a vice president from there. And you know the reason why the CDC swept Southeast? because you had a speaker, the deputy speaker, the minister of finance, the LRA boss. I could go on naming all of them. The other side of the divide, our constitution, I will not be specific now, I will give the provision later on. It talks about decentralization of the governance structure of our country. Where you think a crewman, like, especially when the deputy speaker and the president came from the same place at the time, that was a bad example. So today, that's why when we get here about Thomas Farah, because the president will not encourage the speaker and the president coming from the same county. It happened. Ellen Johnson said it time. For some of us, we criticize this when Ellen Starler and Ellen Johnson said it came from Bonnie. I criticize it. I'm on record for that. You can ask your journalist friends, they will tell you it was wrong. But even the Ellen Starler you're talking about is one person who gave the Ellen Johnson City government a tough time, who brought Ellen to her knees that there was a legislature. Then you can't just run in like that. You know? So it means...
What kind of Korean thing they're talking in the background there, so Jerry?
No, sorry, that my phone was ringing, but I have to stop it.
So,
yes.
So because in Korea, your phone ring to it.
No, anyway, people who understand, Sandy heard that ring too, you know where it come from. Yeah, Sandy heard that ring too, you know it from the southeast. Because I'm in the diaspora.
Go ahead.
I dare not play that ring too in Monrovia while I'm there.
Conclude.
But I want to tell George, coming from whatever region or whatever is not the issue, but the way our men get it here. Whether you bring Timothy, you bring the one year, the way, follow the legislation. Listen to Buffer Timmer from 2010. Senate denying 100,000 from safeguard. The way you are signing, insulting police, criticizing Ellen Johnson said it. For Dr. Timmer to have sat, quote unquote, Dr. Timmer, because people say he get PhD, so let me do my hands like this. To have allowed everything happen under his watchful eyes, without even checkmating the president, is unfortunate. And that's what makes it very, very terrible.
Different. Thank you.
The different case will be Richard Kuhn is only coming from the United Party, but the Southeastern blood is running in him. Even though Joseph Barker is not running a regional government, he's not going to run a regional government. See the structure or even the transitional team.
Jerry, we have to hold you there.
Kind of
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks a lot, Jerry.
For serious business, George.
Okay, thank you. Let's hold you there, George. Let's hold you there, Jerry. No, Jerry, no, Jerry, not coming back. No self-regulation on the show today. Maggie, you wanted to come in.
I will never give a disclaimer.
Maggie wanted to come in.
Mental health condition, Jerry.
Remember, we started the show by discussing mental health. So hold on. Don't affect your mental health, Jerry. Just calm down a little.
But I'm not against Fanatic Kofa. Even all of our work on the same committee, the Biba one.
But Jerry, you still going?
I'm not against him, but I think he's not best suited at this time. I just wanted to let you know on that.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you, Jerry. Thank you. We have to wrap up now.
Let me just say, because my voice limited. I got on my So Josh, to answer your question, in this government, because you people are still there were no diversity. Like everyone have said here, Speaker Kwa, the Kwa people, Deputy Kwa, President Kwa, everywhere, every protein everywhere, but it's different party. I'm surprised that you even asked me this elementary question. I'm sorry, but I'm so surprised that you asking what's the difference between regional and a party, and a speaker coming from the party. A party, you have all tribes. It's not central to one particular ethnic group.
Thank you, Maggie.
All tribes in
Thank you.
Liberia
So,
is part of a party. So the speaker is coming from a different area, not even with the same region as the president and the vice president.
thank you,
Yes,
Maggie. I think that clears
you see the UP, like
Maggie.
different.
Thank you.
That's why
So,
it.
okay, so we have to go now.
Yeah,
We're doing our
let me comment
closing.
that quickly.
Yeah, we're
Nelson,
doing
let
our
me comment that
closing.
quickly, please. Please,
Yeah,
let me comment quickly.
George, I know you want to come in, but
Yes,
I just
please.
want us to do the closing once and for all.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want us to do the closing because I know there was a motive, there was a reason why you asked the question. Now that they've answered the question, you
And
want
there's
to come
no
in.
answer. There's no answer for my question. That's why I want to make another point. There's no question. There's no
Oh,
answer.
they didn't get to answer your question.
Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because the thing is, Nelson,
I
the
want
thing
to
is,
hear him.
people in our political dispensation, people have allegiance to the party, then the county. We say all the people in the southeast. Did the southeast will get fixed on the 6 years? No, it did not get fixed. That's why I don't understand the argument people come here to talk. It just don't make any sense. Well, we're here is free to talk. Anybody can make any comment they want to make. You can look at my question and
Look.
say it's stupid or whatever you want to do. It's your business. But the thing is that people who
George, you're talking secret. I can't hear you.
George, we're not hearing you. We know you're at work.
let me speak a little bit louder. Can you hear me now? So I say, people who more allegiance to their party than where they come from. Is that clear? Because if you look, you said all the government officials came from Maryland or in the southeast. The southeast road did not get fixed. The road in Lofa got fixed. So
That's why you were voted out.
Come on, man.
Okay, thank you.
But what
Let's do the
relation to
closing
the
now. We
question
have
you
to go.
asked?
We have to
That's
go.
no relation to the question. That's why you were voted out. That's why we don't want you there again. Please and
If you don't create a road to the
that's why
southeast are your business.
you
But the
guys were
question you
there.
asked is different thing you're explaining.
You just validated
No.
our point that we
Okay.
voted you guys out.
Maggie, calm down. Calm down.
Oh.
So
Please,
let's do
man.
our closing now. Cindy, I like you to start up with the closing. Let's hear your closing on this because we have to go.
Nelson, thank you for having us again. We started off on a very good discussion. There was a question asked earlier, and I'm not trying to take us back to the issue of mental health, but there was a question asked, and I think that was, to me, was one of the most important questions asked from the quarters is whether the mental health or mental illness affect speech. And I know the person's tried to bring some level of politics into it, but our sisters did answer yes. But look, a lot of people that have mental illnesses also do subsequently have some level of speech impairment or speech delay. So that's something to watch for. You will see people, even with depression, people that have depression, you tend to have some level of speech delay. So that's a good question. And again, that's something to observe and kind of try to pay attention to. And when you're seeing someone suffering from some level of speech delay, speech impairment, difficulty expressing themselves, you may want to take a note of that. On the line of the Speaker for the House of Representatives, I stated my side very clearly. But what I want to add here, as I leave tonight, is that over the last 6 years, we have noticed that some of the concession agreements signed through the House of Representatives were not thoroughly investigated. They were not in the interest of the Liberian people. Some of the bills that were brought forth to the legislature were, signed very quickly to please the executive and not the Liberian people. So if we are going to have a speaker to replace the outgoing speaker, let the speaker bring some sort of track records to show that they are truly in the interest of the Liberian people and that their decision to uphold the rules and regulations that govern the House and to ensure that the Liberian people benefit from their resources truly reflect what the Liberian people need. That's this kind of speaker I'm looking for. Whether they come from blue party, red party, green party, I want a speaker that will represent the Liberian people interest. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mikey?
Okay, from the beginning, I was asking, what are the other names? And I agree with my brother Cindy. We need a speaker that will be in the interest of the Liberian people, that will stand up for the Liberian people. I know the name I'm about to call must he's the only one. Don't forget about his the way he articulate, the way he bring his information out, how he express himself.
Who do you think? Yega Koluba? Like Yega Koluba need you call?
Yes.
You think that Yega Koluba should be the speaker?
I that's what I said. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said it would sound odd to people, but among them, he was the only one that stood up.
Okay.
He stood up to the president when the other people were in line with the president. Yes, he might express himself differently how other people might see or people want to hear. I to disagree with how he expressed himself, but we saw him. He stood up.
Thank you.
He let go a whole lot of things.
But he's not even in the race.
He's not in the race. I don't know why he's not in the race, why he cut himself up. But Yeke is someone, because I'm going just what Sandy said, a person that was deaf, for the Liberian people. I know we need someone that will go across the eye, but if we're looking at someone who was actually there for our people, the only person is Yeke. Unfortunately, he's not in the race. So we move now to the next, which will be the person from the UP. That's what I would take.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Cora, let's hear you, and then
Yes, I would just start almost like what Cindy did, but I would start with the primary health care. The primary care in the developed world is different from the primary healthcare setting in developing countries. Developing countries is taking health into the community, going down. So when we're looking at the mental health cases or mental health condition, I would like for the Liberian government to empower our community health workers. Those people that can be in the community doing health work, health education and other things. I wanted to build a capacity of those people, our community health workers. They are responsible to report to the facility, the clinics. The clinics, they are going out there to tell people the importance of vaccination, preventable diseases, and all of that. So I wanted to train them on mental health, how they will be able to identify and let people know about mental health. If they can do that at the primary healthcare level in our community, then I can tell you that people in our community will be educated, they will be aware, there will be the awareness and sensitization. People will know the importance of mental health and identify early symptoms of mental health in our community. So I will ask the government if they can educate our community health workers. Then I come back now to our discussion right now. Everybody's saying the same thing, but I still say that right now Liberia needs a person that will push the agenda of the Liberian activity. So for Natikova, for now, He came from the United Party end, but somebody who is not consistent. Today in the other party, tomorrow in the other party, I cannot trust you with Liberia. So one of those things I would now want them to vote for Natikofa into the speakership. I will ask and beg the people in the House of Representatives that they look at Liberia, that they think Liberia, that they know the things that we're going through, and put for Kun is a people's man. If you look in Kun community right now, he has done so much. He interacts with the grassroots. He knows the plight of the plight of the people. He knows, he understands it. He will speak to them, and people will tell him, look, this is what we want, and he will carry on the table. And I think the international community will be able to work with him. Having said that, and I said thank you. This is a learning process. There are a lot of things we learn here, and we will improve every day. Thank you very much for affording me the opportunity.
Thanks a lot. Amy, let's hear you. Oh, Jerry?
Yes.
Yeah. Jerry, go ahead. Let's hear Jerry.
Jerry,
quickly.
don't stay long, we break you.
Yeah, thank you. I know Nelson got to go and rest. Let me say this. For me, I know Fonati. I've interacted with him. I think in the last 2 weeks we spoke on different level, but I do not support him as speaker because of his previous role in the weird government, and secondly, we want to champion our things through the speaker, because Joseph Boakai, I mean, had it been like for Jerry, Joseph Boakai not going to run a court like the way the CDC did. No. You're not going to carry thing an Igbo man do then that will come back. They don't want to say, oh, that fake thing. No. Joe Boakai is a serious man. And, you know, Fonati, we work together on like the, you know, Bieber Worm situation, Global Witness Report. I was a public relation man with Boama, JV Boama, and all the people. So I know, and, you know, with Madina Wissett and all the people there. But I can tell you that Richard Nambe Kun, he can talk, but he's a technician. And in this kind of government that Joseph Boakai wants, he needs the technicians. He needs professional people who understand and know how to interrelate. You know, technicians are people who deal with people and understand. Richard Nambe Kun being there, he understands what we want to do. So I will encourage my lawmakers, even though my 3 districts are seditious, but some of them, the last one I spoke to, he said he support Richard Nambe Kun. You know, even though he won CDC ticket, but the 2 of them stay running that CDC way. But I would say to our people, sometimes my man George can sound like the CDC youth chair who say, you know, oh, they think, yeah, we asking United Party not to do this one. But I can assure you, we are about to run a serious government. The legislature is an independent branch of government, but coordination will take place. Richard Nambe Kun is going to provide that leadership. He will look in the face of the president and say, Mr. President, this is a bad legislation. And I know the president will never send anything terrible at the legislature.
Thank you.
Because DeLong is also sitting in the corner there.
Thank you.
DeLong is also sitting there.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Yeah. Amy, you have a minute to close, Amy. Let's hear you.
Jerry, my brother. So, like we all said, right? I mean, for me, I don't know how Liberian politics work, but I know for here, having the president and the speaker from the same party, there's nothing wrong with that. The president wants the speaker and wants the majority leader in the Senate to something that the agenda in these Americas. So with Liberia, maybe it's a little nerve-wracking because they claim to have this system here, but they do it another way. But there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not serving the brown envelopes and you're doing the Liberian people's work and caring for the country and the people and what's good and what's not good, you putting it aside, which that's what happened here. Nobody, Joe Biden or Barack Obama or Donald Trump, nobody's sending no brown envelope down there in Congress. You passing that bill because you feel it's right and your constituents is going to hold you responsible or not. That's what you look at to pass those bills, not waiting for Brian Envelope to come from George Weah, and then you don't read whatever, you just sign it and let it go through. And then 2-3 years down the line, the country is suffering and nobody cares. That's not how it works here. So with Uncle JMB, I know it's a brand new day. We all pray by the grace of God, okay? Because he's a man. We know it's a brand new day that have come to Liberia, and he needs someone to support his agendas, the rescue agenda. That's why he ran on the Liberian people bought it. That's what they want. They don't want anybody in the way, stopping it, or waiting for Brian envelopes before they pass. He's not gonna send down any Brian envelope over there. That I know he would not do. So with Kun, I don't know him for sure, but from what I've heard about him and people that know him in the district and something, they talk nothing but good things about him. And I think we should give him a chance and let him support the JMB agenda for us to be able to move this country and not be saying, oh, well, we didn't do this. I wish my brother George, all the advice that he got on this platform, if they would have been giving those advice to George, where he would have done so well. Instead of you coming here, now don't come and can't get JMB advice when he hasn't even signed one paper. He hasn't even raised his hand to say, I do something this way. You still have the country. Your president is still running the country. Giving those advice, let him put something in. Liberian people, for your lawmakers, watch them. Even the one that are voting for Brian Envelope right now to make speaker, watch them and pay them for it if they do. Because they want to block you voted for JMB, you voted for something you wanted to happen, and you need the right person in there to get it to happen. Vote for Richard Namweku. Call them to vote for Richard. Cool.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let me say thanks to you, Cindy. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Miss Cora. Thanks to you, Amin. We appreciate all of you. We look forward to having another show tomorrow. I think it's been a great show. And yes, we want to appreciate our audience as well. And bye-bye for now. So thank you.
For tomorrow,
personality disorder.
Yeah, that was just about to ask what are the topics, so at least our audience can know that we're having to discuss this topic. So is there a way that we can let them know, or we'll talk at the back?
Yeah, we'll have to talk at the back.
Okay.
But the discussion on mental health will continue even tomorrow.
Then
yeah. So thank you.
Let me
Thanks
go
a
rest
lot.
my mental health now. I've been here.
Yeah, mental health needs some attention.
Good night, y'all.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Shirley.
Oh yeah, Shirley. As soon as we came to the political discussion, and then
people are gonna say thanks, Shirley. So I'm saying thanks, Shirley.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, Josh left.
Josh came on here talking secret. Yo, guys.
I know he
at work. Yeah, where's
he can't make it.
Yeah, love, but he can't make it to be here. But again, thank you, man. Thank you, Maggie. And thanks to you, Amy.
Okay,
okay. Thank you. Well, folks, that's how I would like to draw down the curtains on the show, the late night show. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the program. Until then, have for yourselves a good night. And and let me say good morning to you if you're here in Liberia. I'm Nelson Colette. Thanks to all of the radio stations across the country that always relay the show. And thanks to you all. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good day. Where are we? Okay.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon.